Good morning, everybody. This is your boy D Mac. Man, I hope y'all had a good Sabbath on yesterday. This morning, people are going to get up and go worship and, just have a blessed day and keep me and my family in your prayers. Nothing really going on. Just keep us in your prayers so that we can stay covered. So, this morning I'm going to talk about something that may get under the skin of some people. So, I'm going to go ahead and give a trigger warning before I do this. But I'm going to say this because this is very true. Bill Burr, the legendary comedian in his own right, cut from that Dave Chappelle cloth. You may know him from the Dave Chappelle show. He did certain skits like the what was it? The where they was trading different people. They traded Tiger Woods to the black people and all of that stuff like that. Anyway, Bill Burr is a well-known, well-loved, well-respected comedian, and he just recently did a stand-up routine about the wage disparity between the NBA and the WNBA, and he said something that was very, very interesting that I just wanted to point out and talk about this morning because it's a very valid point that he made. And in talking about the WNBA, he said this. He said, the women in sports will always look at the men and will always complain that we don't support women's sports enough. And, a lot of the NBA players were being guilted in going to the WNBA games and supporting them. But the thing that Bill Burr pointed out was this: where was all the women? Where was all of those feminists who claim that, men don't support women's sports and women's sports should get paid like men? But when it comes to fan turnout and ticket sales, you women are not showing up at the WNBA games and selling out the arenas and stuff like us men do for the NBA. When you go to an NBA game, you'll see every man from every walk of life up in there to see their favorite team and root for their favorite team and root for their favorite player. And they'll spend buku's amount of money on beer, on jerseys, on those big number one fingers, or whatever else they have there in support of their team and their favorite players. But females, you're not doing that for the WNBA. We don't see all of these feminists at the WNBA games packing it out wall to wall, every seat filled, because these feminists want to see these females win. We're not seeing that. We're not seeing the same support from the women for the WNBA that the men give the NBA. And so then how can you come and try to demand something from men that your own gender isn't even giving you? That's not fair at all. And men have to sit back and try to swallow this and take it because, women feel like they've been slighted in this area. But Bill Burr, oh, I love Bill Burr so much. Him being the guy that he is, the last shred of that toxic masculinity that y'all are always calling out. Bill Burr just said it so beautifully. He said it just like this. He said, look, you don't support the WNBA or any female sports, and then you'll come at us as if we're not doing enough, even though the WNBA has been subsidized by the NBA, which means that everything that they're doing is financially supported by the NBA, because if they try to go at it alone, they do not generate enough revenue to do any of the things that the NBA does. They say they want to fly first class like the NBA does and all these things require money. And you know how much it'll cost to move a whole team first class on flights or even coach on flights? That's a lot of money. And if you're not generating that type of revenue, where is this money supposed to come from, I ask? You know, they want all of these things that the guys have, but we spent decades and decades building up our sporting industries. We spent billions and trillions of dollars supporting our sporting organizations. So what are women spending millions and billions and trillions of dollars on? Well, the Kardashians are doing very well. All of these housewives of wherever, whatever state they're from, are doing very well. All of the makeup lines are doing very well. All of the weave stores are doing very well. And see, this is the whole point. You spending all of your time and money trying to look good, looking like these other women, but the women out here who are doing something that is practical and worthwhile, you don't have any interest in it as a woman because that's not a ladylike sport to you. But yet still you'll turn around and you'll try to use those feminist talking points even though you don't support the ladies of these sporting organizations. And it's not a good look at all. And so do you really expect us as men to sit back and take this serious? Do you really expect us to take this serious? When the NBA started, it was not an instant just everybody gravitated towards it. It wasn't an instant success. It had to go through a few people in the gym and then slowly picking up traction. And over time, as the sport has evolved, we've generated the following of all of the fans. We've generated like I said before, trillions of dollars just in sports memorabilia, selling baseball cards and basketball, all of these things that men have done in order to build up our sporting industry to where it is now. And it's not fair for women to just come in and say, we want what y'all have. We want yours to be exact. We want ours to have the same type of revenue that yours have, even though we don't attract that much. So y'all are going to have to compensate for what we're not able to raise. That is all types of wrong. And us as men, we are not going to feel bad about women not supporting their own leagues, nor should we. And I thank Bill Burr for bringing that point because we as men, we struggle so hard to explain this without trying to hurt the feelings of our female counterparts. We try so hard to show that we support you, but at the same time, we're not going to do these unrealistic things that you think we should do as men. So there's going to be a disparity. There's going to always be some type of rift whenever it comes down to this conversation, because the truth of the matter is, if women were out there supporting these female sporting events the same way they were supporting the Kardashians, the same way they're supporting all of the housewives of Atlanta and all of this toxic female stuff that they buy into, then the WNBA will be somewhere. Where are all the female rappers? I don't never see none of them at the WNBA games, but I see them at the NBA games. I don't never see Beyonce and the Beehive at the WNBA games, but I see her at the NBA games with Jay all the time. I never see any of these major female stars, the Serena Venus and all of the other female athletes who have big names. I don't see them frequenting the WNBA games. I see them at the NBA games. And so what is that saying about the WNBA? Their own top female athletes are not supporting them in the way that they're asking us as men to support them. That's crazy. That's not logical, and we as men are gonna have to put a stop to it. We're gonna have to put our foot down at this point, and it's only because it's the right thing to do. It's not because we hate women. It's not because we don't want to see women win. But no, you have to earn what you get in life, and nobody's out here just going to hand you anything. And so there's a lot of females, not all females, but so many females have been used to everything being handed to them because they're just on the excuse me just on the strength of them being a female. They've had things handed to them, and they figure that their career should be no different, and that their worth, their monetary worth in the workforce should be no different. But guess what? This is the world, and the world is not going to cater to you like your father and your mother did. The world is not going to cater to you like your family did and give you everything you want because you're the only girl of the family or you're that princess. No, that's not how the world works. The world looks for results from you. And if you're not able to produce results for the world, then you're just going to get what you give. And that's it. That's that. And some people have to understand that, because if not, you're going to continually be out here frustrating yourself, and you're going to be angry and bitter at the wrong people. Yeah. Bill said it. I didn't say it this time, so I can't say, yeah, I said it. But I'll say, yeah, Bill said it. Yeah, Bill Burr said it, and he said it very well. And so when we look at if we break everything down that he explained, it more than sufficiently covers men in this whole conversation, in this aspect. Why are we supposed to be obligated to do something that your own gender is not doing for you? So until we see the WNBA games filled up with women in support of women, like we as men go and support these men, then this conversation is over. We don't want to hear anything more about the WNBA and how they're not being supported until we see each one of those seats filled with those women who are always constantly complaining about it, but they never go into the games. So when y'all start filling up the seats at the WNBA games, then we can have a talk. When y'all start generating that revenue that the NBA does, when y'all start going out buying those Dana Taurasi jerseys, and when y'all start going out and buying those Skylar Diggins Smith jerseys and all of that stuff like that, then we'll have a conversation. But if y'all not doing that, this conversation is null and void. This is your boy D-Mac, man. This is all I really want to say, because this is an inflammatory type of situation, and this is always going to be a sensitive topic. But no longer. Bill Burr's taking the sensitivity out of it, which Bill Burr does so very well. He's not your most sensitive guy, and when he speak things, he say things in a toxic masculine way. And sometimes that is necessary to get the point across to people who just don't seem to want to see the reality and the logic of the situation. So I want to thank Bill Burr for his views, bringing that point of view to light, giving great examples of the non-support in the WNBA. And so hopefully now we can put this to bed. Hopefully we can have these people to put their money where their mouth is and go over there and start filling up those WNBA arenas. This is your boy D-Mac, man. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.